It's soup season. Let's get cooking.
So as I said at the top of the video, this is soup season. Well, for me, really any season is soup season, but it's normal people soup season. So today we're going to be making a creamy chicken pasta soup, some veggies, just something run of the mill. And we're starting off with some carrots here. We're going with 1 pound of carrots, just peeling them, cutting them into a little bit of half moons. Personally, I'm a fan of carrots in soups. Now, as you saw there, some of the chunks may be a little thicker towards the top, so you're just going to split those in half, just like my parents' marriage. And you're just going to cut those in little half moons. You're going to have some medallions, some half moons. As you can see, I have a little scrap bowl up in the corner. Those carrot skins, carrot tops, carrot bottoms, those are all getting saved. They get put into a freezer bag. Gonna make some stock with them once I get that full. This is 1 pound of carrots here, pre-washed before anyone says anything. I washed them before we even started filming here. So after we get all of the carrots chopped up, you can kind of see it just at the corner of the screen that we're going to be adding some radishes. Used to not be a big fan of radishes, but recently I've been using those little red bastards a lot in pretty much every soup that I've made, I'd say, in the last couple of months. They have such a nice crispness to them. They're great for subbing in for potatoes if I don't feel like adding that much starch. Now, we're just roughly quartering these radishes here. I'm gonna keep the skin on, doesn't affect the taste whatsoever. We're just taking top, bottom off, chopping them. We're not going like Michelin star level chops here. We're just doing some rough chops, some rough quarters. This is 2 bags worth. I believe they were 12-ounce bags. We're looking at about 24 ounces of radishes here. And they were just going to absorb all of the flavor and the broth itself that we're going to be cooking it in. You can't really... It's hard to describe radish if you haven't tried it in a soup, but I think fantastic. Now, one thing I am missing that I definitely would recommend adding to this that just forgot to get at the store and didn't feel like going out to get: celery. This soup would have done amazing with some chopped celery, but fortunately didn't have any. So we're just adding in a metric ass ton of radishes here. We're still cutting through the radishes. Now, let me check my notes here, make sure I'm not missing anything. I was trying to say... Oh yes, part of the reason we added those carrots is to add a little bit of sweetness into the soup without making it overpowered in sweetness. It's a subtle sweetness, but it's not, like you're just having a bowl of sugar. So now that we got those radishes cut, as you can see, I'm putting on the cut gloves here. I have cut my hands more times than I care to mention on onions, and I didn't feel like adding some extra iron into the soup today. So we're just gonna dice up the onion. Now again, there are people who are much better at cutting than me. I'm doing my best here. But it's a pretty good dice. I'll give myself that. We're gonna keep those onion bottoms, just because we're gonna put those into that stock as well. As you can see, I already got the bowl emptied because that's already in the freezer bag just behind the camera here. But we're going for 2 onions. I only have 1 on film because I started tearing up like a bitch watching up. But trust me, there's 2 onions. Also, I don't have any footage of it, but also 2 cloves of garlic got minced up pretty fine as well. So now we got those onions cut. We're going to cut over here. Whatever pot you're going to use, get it on the stove, warm it up. I always like to preheat it before I drop the butter in, and heat it on a medium high, then I immediately drop it to a medium. We're not trying to brown the butter here. We're just trying to get it nice and foamy like we see here. Now, if you want, you can brown those onions up a little bit more, but I'm just going to soften them, cook them through not looking to brown them up. So we're going to give those a little bit of time there just to start to cook through, get fragrant, really absorb the butter. That looks delectable just watching this bag. It smells fantastic. And once we get those softened or browned to however you like, this is when I'm coming in with the 2 cloves of garlic here. Now, garlic, I only do it until it becomes fragrant, and it was like instantly garlic. Not trying to get that acidic burnt taste. So once you get that how you like it, we're coming in 96 ounces of chicken broth. Look at that double pour action. Professional chef over here. 96 ounces, 2 family size things of chicken broth. That is going to be the bulk of our soup right there. Then we're going to get those 4 chicken titties and we're going to drop them in for a nice little swim. We're going to give those about 45 minutes in the boil. You could definitely do it longer. I should have done it longer. As you see here, it's not really shreddable. It's more of a choppable state than a shreddable. If I had done a little bit longer, definitely could have gotten it shredded, but I was getting hungry and getting impatient. So all I did here is I just roughly chopped up the chicken breast. Now, before anyone says that they're unseasoned, we're adding seasoning here in a minute. Before anyone says anything. We're just going to get those roughly chopped up. Definitely should have gone for shredded. You know, that was a mistake on my part. But it was getting late, and I wanted to eat. Some of them did start to fall apart, though. So we were right on the edge. Probably an hour, 10 minutes would have gotten those perfectly shreddable, if you ask me. But, well, you know, take what we can, right? And once we get those chopped up, we're going to get those put right back into the broth here, people. They're already cooked through. We're just trying to get all of the rest of the flavors. So here's that seasoning blend that I mentioned. That's a combination of lemon pepper, smoked paprika, cumin, ancho chili powder, cayenne chili, tarragon, Italian seasoning, garlic, and white pepper. So we're just going to mix that through, give that a little bit of time to, start boiling again. Now, what I don't have footage of is the cream. I forgot to film that. We're going to avoid the splatter there, people. But I put 32 ounces of heavy cream in, and then let that get back up to the boil. And we're just coming in with a bag of frozen peas. Going to give those about 5 minutes. They're going to go for a little splish splash, taking a bath here. Just get those cooked through, softened. It looks amazing. It tastes amazing. So once we get those peas cooked all the way through, you gotta come in with the pasta of your choice. Now, originally I was going to be using pot pie noodles. When I went to the store, there were no pot pie noodles in sight, so I had to go for some extra wide egg noodles. This was also the recipe that proved to me that I need to get a bigger pot, because hot damn, this was almost overfilled. Give those about 12 minutes to get the pasta softened. Gonna bowl it up here. Gonna shred in some white oak cheddar. Delectable. And then we're gonna cut over to BlackGriffin to do a taste test.
Okay, so here we are. Completed soup. Mixing in a little cheese here. Just get a good bite with it. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of everything on it. There we go. But hot. Gotta love soup season. Recipe will be written down below, and this is gonna be about it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay hungry.